Hello. Uh, in this video tutorial, I'm going to explain you how I did the questions. So let's start from the question number 1. Question number 1 says that add a new tab called pivot and create a pivot table on the new tab to show the status of the project. Please create a pivot table to show the status using two parameters: booking status row and business segment column. So what we are going to do is basically we have to create a pivot table using the data. So to create the pivot table, what we do, first we open the data and then we insert, go to insert and then pivot table like this. So then it says that in the row we have to select the business segment, and in the column we have to select the booking status and inside any of the values. So here are many values in field setting. When you go, you can see that there are number of values, some count, but we need count because we are interested in the frequencies. So this is what the pivot table. So the same pivot table has I have inserted in the summary. If you can see, so basically is the booking status in the business segment. So this is the pivot table. How I did, I showed you just in the demo. So this is a pivot table for question number 1. So what's the question number 2? Basically question number 2 is about on the target tab. So if you see on the target tab, what is there is about the business segments and number of interviews, targeted interviews. Like for bakes there should be 25 and cotton board 110 and etc. So what we do is basically we take business segments and we again what we did basically, again we have drawn a pivot table taking interview time. So interview completed means the number of interviews which have taken some time and have completed. So in this case, if we see is bakes interview completed currently 26 and target is 25, so it's okay. So cardboard completed 98, target was 1110, and similarly if we see the total is 235. So the target interview was 235 and completed at 201. So it means that here I have written that the target for business segments are achieved only in case of bakes. In rest of the cases, the completed interviews are far less than the set targets. The project must increase the interviews to complete the target. So the progress is not showing good. So in this case, number of interviews should be increased. So we are going question number 3 now. In question number 3, it's they have demanded for 2 pivot tables filtered by business booking status. So again I have drawn pivot table following the same procedure which I have shown for the question number 1. These are the 2 tables where in the first one I have taken the interviews completed, and the second one I have taken the transcript interview transcript time. So it's filtered by business segment in both of the case. Like if you select any of the value, like for example I want to see the cardboard. So when you click cardboard, you can see that the values are changing. So now I just want all the values, so I select all. Again it's same in this case when you select on the business segment, so it can be the values are changing, right? So this was all needed in question number 3. Similarly in question number 4, so that how many minutes are spent on each interview in total on average. If the budget number of the hours is 0.5, yani 30 minutes per interview, all of the interviews reaching this budget. So the answer is the average interview minute is 12 minutes. 12 is the average interview minute, and this is less than the budgeted time. So it shows that all the interviews are as per the budgeted interview time. So how we calculate the average? So again we go to the data and we have taken the leg 1, which is the interview time. Leg 1 is the interview time, and what we did is basically we calculated the average. To calculate the average we use the formula average of leg 1, so it is 12, right? Similarly, after question number 4 we have to question number 5. Which business segment has the most positive spontaneous impression of? So positive impressions in data, if we see question 5, there are 5 and 4 are basically the positive impressions. So what we do, we just draw a simple pivot table with filtering the question 5. Here you can see that this is what we do, basically filtered by question 5. Question 5 indicates the impressions which are positive and negative, but 4 and 5 are the positive impressions. For that we select 4 and 5 and rest we unselect. So for the business segments, this is the business segment. So here bakes 22, cardboard 59, blah blah blah. So the positive impressions are 1, 4, 1, and the most positive impression received for cardboard and the least for corrugated. These are the most and least numbers. So these are the question up to question 5 we did like this using simple pivot. For question number 6 question number 6 can be solved both pivot table and SPSS syntax as well. So in pivot table is a bit long process, like the question number 6 demanded how many times Stora Enso appeared. So in Excel, when we apply pivot table, so we have to do it separately for question 1 to question number 4. We didn't applied it on question underscore 5 because in underscore 5 there is no Stora Enso appeared. So we are taking it as per 3 categories as per the questions: business segments, language, and country. So in question number 1 there are 17 times business Stora Enso appeared, and if we check as per the business segment we can see that 13, 1, 2. Similarly for language is this way, and in a total 17 times it appeared, and for the country again 17, but for France 2, Germany 7, etc. So this is how we can use the same method for like this pivot table is like this: business segments, count of question 1, and question number 1 is in filter. So in filter what we did, basically we have selected one we have coded for Stora Enso, the rest we didn't code because we are only interested in the Stora Enso. But the same question was demanded to be solved on SPSS, so let's go for the SPSS section. How I have done this. This is the syntax site which is needed. We can just send these syntaxes. First of all, keep in mind that question number 6 is a multiple response variable. How? When we go to data and we check the question number 6, it's multiple response because a single respondent can opt any of the options, like they can opt 1, 2, 3, 2, 3 up to so on. So this is a multiple response question. So for the multiple response question in SPSS, what we did, basically first of all we make the data. We have inserted the data from Excel to SPSS and use automatic coding to convert the string values into numeric values. So language, business, and country, these are the new variables I have generated using the automatic coding. This is the separate thing which needs more time to be understood, but your focus is to how we calculated the total frequency of the Stora Enso, right? So what we did is basically first of all we go to analyze, and then we go to multiple response, and then define variables. In the define section, question 1 to 5 are the multiple responses. Select here, and in count we have taken 1 for the Stora Enso, so that's why we will write here 1 and give any name to this ASD. Add, it's already added, so I have created this multiple response already, so just you need to add here and then close. So what happened basically, a multiple response variable will be generated. After multiple response variable, what you can do is simply use these codings to generate different tables. The tables will look like this. If you go to the SPSS output, the first table is about how many times Stora Enso appeared. So Stora Enso appeared 42 times in overall. When we compare it to a business segment, so in case of bakes it appears 2 and 1 time, total 3 time. In case of cartonate, total 28 time, corage 1 time, foamable 4 time, etc. Similarly, if we check for the language, Chinese 1 time, English 12 time, and up to so on. If we check for the country, Austria 1, China 1, France 6, Germany 12, up to so on. So this is how we calculate all. We have solved all the questions. So this is all we did. So I hope you will understand each and every step which I have done. So if there will be any other problem, please contact me. I am here to respond to any question. Thank you.